it up on my phone to like test it. Hello, testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, testing, testing. Men's wrestling.
Hello and welcome to 90.5 WASU presents Appalachian State Men's Wrestling versus the Chattanooga Mucks. There's going to be some great matchups tonight. One I'd like to notice, Chad Bellis has entered into the top rankings of the country for 133 pounds. He's now 33 ranked wrestler. And he will be going up against 17th ranked Blake Borman or Bryce Luna. But since this is a ranked wrestling match between two opponents, I believe is going to be Blake Borman. But tonight we are going to be starting at 125 as we go to lowest weight to highest weight. So classic setup, classic wrestling matches. Starting at 125 as per usual. For Appalachian State, we have 125 Bryson Terrell. Bryson Terrell has a record of 12-12. A straight even record. And as a redshirt freshman, even though 12-12, that's a pretty good record for a redshirt freshman. But he will be going up against Ty Tice, the redshirt freshman. Both men tying up in the tie-up here. Tice trying to go snap him down here. Terrell trying to stay his space here in the tie-up, not trying anything to happen. Tice tries to go for the arm drag, but doesn't really go anything with it. He tries going to the head and arm and tries to get two hands on one, but Terrell knows better and separates. Both are still tied up. Tice tries to shoo Terrell by, but Terrell stays in front. Good defensive position from him. Tice tries to snap him down, while Terrell gains two arms on one. He's holding on for that wrist for control. He's not letting it go. But Tice keeps on trying to circle, and he gets out of it, loses the arm control for Terrell. And they both separate and go neutral. Both still go in the tie-up here. Terrell has an underhook here, but he lets it go and tries to go for the single attempt, but it doesn't work. They separate and still go neutral, but both go to the tie-up. Tice being extremely aggressive right now, but Terrell not letting that aggressiveness get to him as he gets an underhook, but lets it go and tries to separate. And Terrell goes for the shot attempt, but he gives up on it, but he goes around and circles around Tice and tries to get the single. He's almost there. Tice is basically on his back, and he gets the three. Good takedown for Terrell. He circles around after the fail two. He's on top, dominating. He swipes Tice's left arm. Tice is on all fours, pressure to the ground. There's a minute left. Terrell leading 3-0. Terrell still trying to work. He basically lets him up, and Terrell gives him the escape point. Now 3-1. Terrell leads by 2. Tice is deep in the double leg, but Terrell trying to grab the ankles and the waist, trying not for that to happen, trying to stall out time so this takedown isn't happening. And they're called stalling matches. Nothing is happening, and they will go back to neutral. For Bryson Terrell, that's probably the best thing to happen right now in this match. Terrell leading 3-1 with 30 seconds remaining. Both men in the tie-up here. Tice trying to get some type of wrist control, while Terrell tries to go for that 2-on-1 arm again, trying to let go of Bryce, trying to let go of Tice's wrist. They both separate. Terrell trying to work out his space, trying to get underhooks and wrist control here. Tries to circle around for the shot attempt, but he stands up. Tice on all fours. And that's the end of the first period. That's 3-1. Bryce Terrell, Appalachian State, leading 3-1 in this 125 match. Terrell has 26 seconds of riding time. And Terrell will choose to go bottom. They start. Terrell tries to get up, but Tice swipes stop the arms and gets him back on all fours. Terrell gets immediately back up, but Tice tries to pick him up and slam him down, but Terrell does not let that happen, and he gets the escape point. Now 4-1. Terrell leading by 3. A minute 40 seconds remaining in this second period. 125 matchup between Bryce Terrell and Ty Tice. Terrell tries to circle around, whether he has the wrist control. Has a swipe on the arm, ducks under the arm, goes for the single, and he gets it. Immediately gets 2 legs in. Trying to work the top dominance, and Terrell, oh no! Terrell got reversed. He was too high for trying to reach the 2-leg control. Coach John Mark Bentley's not happy about it. Tice gets the reversal and almost gets him on his back. That will cost him a reversal. The score is now 7-3. Bryce Terrell still leading, but John Mark Bentley is yelling at him to fix his mistake. Tice tried to go for that side cradle, but it doesn't work. Tice trying to pull him back so he gets on his back, but they get up and go out of bounds. Both men will start neutral here. You guys are just now listening. Bryce Terrell got the takedown, but it was immediately reversed as he got too high trying to leg ride. That can happen when you leg ride. You try to go too high so both legs go in, and the guy's just avoiding, but you don't notice that you're too high when you're in the position. And that's just a common mistake that happens with leg riders sometimes. But 50 seconds remaining in this second period. Terrell leads by 4, 7-3. Terrell's on bottom, and Tice is trying to stay on top, not allow Terrell to get any more points as Tice is down by 4. Terrell trying to stand up, break away the grip, but Tice picks him back up, brings it back to the mat, and they go out of bounds. They will start on bottom again. Chattanooga bench ecstatic, but they need to realize their wrestler's down 4. If they don't get him on his back or any back points happening and get those 4 back points, it's going to stay a dominant match here for Terrell, even though he's on bottom for most of the second period. Terrell, form staying nice, being selective, but Tice, while Terrell gets up, brings it back down to the mat. Tice is on his, slightly bringing back, was almost on his back. Terrell tried to take advantage of it. Terrell gets the reversal, almost gets it. Excuse me, not the reversal. He almost got it, but just was safe and got the escape point. It's now 8-3, ending this second period. It's now Chattanooga's decision. They're asking to, Tice is asking his coach to go neutral, and his coach says, dude, this is your match, you decide. And Terrell and Tice will try to go neutral here in hopes for a takedown and possibly some back points. As this third period match, Terrell is up 8-3. Terrell trying to circle around, both just staying in front of each other, fighting for wrist control. It seems like Terrell's being on the more passive side, waits for Chattanooga's Tice to shoot. Tice has the single. He's deep in it, trying to circle around, but Terrell is holding on to that waist, not allowing him to circle. And so he's trying not to get, Terrell trying not to get told for stalling here, but Tice decides to pick up both of Terrell's legs, and Terrell being high up, this is how we got the reversal last time, and got the neutral call, as they are called for stalling, and both men will start neutral. Tice being extremely deep on multiple single attempts, but Terrell's takedown defense is pretty excellent. Starting neutral. Terrell trying to snap down. Tice trying to go for shot attempts, but Terrell keeps sprawling. 40 seconds remaining in this third period match. Tice needs to try anything right now. He doesn't have much time. That's what his bench is yelling at him to do. And Bryson Terrell goes for the shot attempt, separates. He's deep in that single leg. Will the refs give him the 3? He's deep in it. He's basically behind him. Tice goes for the Granby roll and grabs Bryson Terrell's leg. No takedowns given. But Bryson Terrell will get the 3 with 30 seconds remaining. And that separates huge for the Mountaineers. Bryson Terrell leads 11-3. Terrell has a leg in, controlling Tice's leg. Hope for the 125er is gone. 1 second remaining. This match is over. Chattanooga almost got a last-second reversal, but you can see Tice is extremely frustrated. Bryson Terrell realizing he got the win, 11-3 in a dominant major decision. hyping up the crowd. Ty is extremely mad right now. He just threw down the colored waist strap on his leg, slammed him down, and at the end, as the time ran out, he slammed down to the mat. But his coaches will go back to try to reassure him that it wasn't that bad. But he was deep in on a couple takedowns, but Bryson Terrell, he's a tough man to get a takedown against. But this next match, it will be extremely exciting. Appalachian State's 133, Chad Bellis entering the rankings at number 33 in the country. He will be wrestling Blake Borman, number 17 ranked Blake Borman, redshirt junior from Evansville, Indiana, from Matter Day. Blake Borman's record is 17-4, and he's 8-1 in duels. And Chad Bellis, his season right now is 14-10. Both men just waiting until the refs to make sure the scoreboard is clear. Appalachian State leads 4-0 in team score after 125 win Bryson Terrell. Now starts. Both men just tying up, being extremely hyper, fighting for wrist control. Bellis trying to go for a low single attempt but separates. Both still tying up here. Terrell trying to have the 2-on-1 arm but separates. Borman trying to go for a single himself but separates. Both are still neutral. Bellis pressuring him on the outside of the ring. Chattanooga coach being extremely vocal, yelling at his wrestlers. Bellis trying to see what he can work with here, feinting multiple single shots. And Borman tries to go for an ankle pick, but both separate as Chad Bellis circles. And both will start neutral again. Bellis trying to fight for wrist control, trying to snap him down. And Borman does the same. Bellis trying to separate. Both in front of each other, fighting for wrist control. Bellis trying to see what he's worked with, feinting many times. Borman tries to go for a shot attempt. Chad Bellis sprawls, tries to circle around, but Borman separates. Bellis has 2-on-1 but lets it go. Both fighting for wrist control. Borman tries to go for the underhook, but Bellis separates, pushes away, but immediately goes back on the tie-up again. Bellis tries to go for a shot, but he's not deep enough as Borman was still tied up and pushed him away. But both still neutral. No points have been given yet. 50 seconds remaining in this first period. Blake being pressured here, circling around but not taking advantage of the positions he's given. Bellis having wrist control, trying to circle around. A lot of feints by both wrestlers, but none committing to a full shot attempt. Bellis having wrist control, trying to go for a shot attempt as he's pressured on the outside. Borman goes on a deep double shot on a double leg attempt, but Bellis gets 2 underhooks and they both get out of bounds and both will start neutral again. Ten seconds remaining in this first period matchup. Borman being extremely hyper, trying to go for shot attempts, but Bellis is having good takedown defense and separating. And that'll stop the first period, entering into the second. Appalachian State defers to Chattanooga, and Chattanooga will decide to go on bottom here. The score is 0-0. Bryson Terrell won at the 125 match, making the team score 4-0. This is the second period match between Chad Bellis versus Blake Borman. Borman tries to separate from bottom, trying to get the escape point, but Bellis brings him back down to the mat. And they go out of bounds, and Borman will start on bottom again. Borman, extremely hyper in this match, immediately going up, trying to get that escape point, but Bellis brings him back down. They start back up again, and that was an extremely fast reversal by Blake Borman. Extremely fast. And that brings it 2-0. John Mark Bentley trying to clap to Chad Bellis, trying to get him to stay in this matchup. Chad Bellis will now start on bottom after the reversal by Blake Borman. They'll start. Chad trying to get up, immediately gets the escape point, making it 2-1. A minute 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Now in front of each other. Borman trying to gain Chad's wrist control, but Chad fighting out of it. Chad getting his own wrist control here, but separates. Both men still tied up here. Bellis tries to go for the shot attempt, but separates. Blake Borman immediately goes after, but Chad Bellis sprawls and separates and stuffs that takedown. 55 seconds remaining in this second period. Bellis has wrist control here, but separates. Bellis trying to see what he has, feinting, trying to see his reaction. .30 seconds remaining in the second period matchup between Chad Bellis and Blake Borman. 2-1 still after the reversal from Blake Borman and the escape from Chad Bellis. .10 seconds remaining. Both just feinting, trying to see each other's reaction, see if there's an opening somewhere, but both being extremely tight, trying not to let any points happen. Both in the tie-up, and the time expires for the second period. Third period starts, and Chad Bellis will decide to go on bottom, try to get the escape point to tie the match up. Bellis will start on bottom here. Bellis immediately tries to get up. Borman tries to go for the wrist. And now that it's tied, match up. Chad Bellis gets the escape point, but Borman doesn't let him breathe for a second. Goes deep on a single, but Bellis has two ankles here. One inside the leg and one on the outside. Trying to cross-face and separate. Bellis cross-faces, tries to get behind, but Borman is being relentless, not allowing him to circle, grabbing the ankle. But Chad Bellis just separates and both go neutral again. And they go out of bounds. Great takedown defense by Bellis. And something has seemed like they gave a stalling warning to Chattanooga. If that happens again, he'll be given a point to Chad Bellis. Both men tie up here. Bellis tries to go for wrist control. Trying to stay defensive here. 1 minute remaining in this last period matchup. Chad Bellis feinting. Chad Bellis loves to feint, try to get his opponent's reaction, see if there's an opening somewhere. Bellis commits to a single, but the stuff by Blake Borman separates. John Mark Bentley yelling at him to be active. Borman tries to go for a double leg attempt, but Bellis explosively sprawls. Both go in the mat neutral again. Both in the middle of the mat. Pushing each other back and forth in this tie-up here. Bellis tries to circle around, has the single, but he goes back up and just has two double underhooks. tries to go for the single again, but Borman separates. And the crowd is yelling to say that he's stalling. But the refs don't think so and don't give him the point. 16 seconds remaining. Bellis is going to try anything in his power to try to win. But Borman being little on the defensive side here, he goes on this circling single attempt. It doesn't work. Bellis stays neutral. Bellis has the front head and arm here. 2 seconds remaining. And Chad Bellis looks at the time, sees it's out. John Mark Bentley ecstatic, saying great job with the takedown defense. And then we'll go to overtime. His matchup 2-2. 2 minutes of overtime here. Chad Bellis versus Blake Borman, this ranked matchup. Chad Bellis, 33 ranked, Blake Borman, 17. If Chad can get the win here, this will be huge for his rankings and his career. The crowd cheering in Chad Bellis' support. Both men still in the tie-up, trying to gain wrist control. Chad Bellis, he has the ankle pick, but he doesn't commit full through. And Borman gets the takedown reversal. Bellis was so close with the takedown, but it went to his side. And Borman took advantage of that position and got the takedown against Bellis. That's a huge loss. A win against the 17th ranked wrestler in the nation was super close for Bellis. Hard fought match that went to overtime. That'll bring the team score 4-3 in this matchup. Now, 141 redshirt freshman for App State, Aldo Hernandez, going up against 141 Eli Knight, redshirt junior from Calhoun, Georgia. Aldo Hernandez's record is 17-10, while Eli Knight's is 5-2. The match starts. Hernandez immediately going in the tie-up, trying to circle around. Has the 2-on-1 on 2 wrists. Knight separates after Hernandez tries to go into the tie-up. Knight tries to shoo Aldo away, gets behind, but Aldo circles. Aldo circles, shows his own shoe away, gets the ankle. He was close to finishing, but Knight pushed him away to go back to neutral. Still 0-0 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Aldo tries to go for the single attempt, but separates. Good takedown defense by Knight. Aldo feinting, try to see what he has. Aldo initiates the tie-up. Tries to snap down. Trying to get the inside tie for Aldo. Aldo trying to see what he has going here. Feinting, trying to see his opponent's reaction. Has the underhook. And they go out of bounds, but Aldo had great positioning there. Unfortunate. Coach John Mark Bentley telling Aldo to stay in the ring. Aldo feints the single. Tries to get his opponent's reaction, but he's not phased. Aldo initiates the tie-up again. Knight has the underhook. Aldo separates, tries to start over. Tries to tap ahead, feint the single. Aldo's deep in the single, but Knight is not letting him have it easy. Knight has in control of Aldo's leg. That's why the takedown he's not given. Aldo trying to pick up Knight, trying to bring him back down. Aldo is deep on the single, 40 seconds remaining, trying to finish this takedown. But Knight has the tie up in between Aldo's legs. And he's not going to let that go. Because if he does let it go, Aldo gets the takedown. 30 seconds remaining. Aldo trying his best. But if nothing's happening here, the refs will probably call stalling, and they do. They will start neutral. Great takedown defense by Eli Knight, but that was a deep single by Aldo Hernandez. 14 seconds remaining in this first period. Both men in the tie-up, trying to gain each other's wrist control, separates. Both men just look at the time and just waits for the period to expire. And Chattanooga decides to go on bottom. And that's where Eli Knight will start. Hernandez starts to go on top. And they start. Second period begins. Eli Knight trying to get up. Aldo trying to bring him back down to the mat. Hernandez trying to get a leg in to try to trip. Hernandez almost on his back. Eli Knight trying to let go, but they're very close to going out of bounds. And Aldo brings him back down to the mat. John Mark Bentley very mad with the ref about stalling. Believes this should have been called a while ago. 1:30 seconds in the second period between Aldo Hernandez and Eli Knight. Aldo tries to get Eli Knight back down to the mat, trying to trip him with the inside leg. Eli Knight trying to get, separates, but Aldo lets him go. And they will, Eli Knight close to getting the takedown, but they will go out of bounds. 1-0. Eli Knight leads by 1 from that escape point. Aldo tried his best to get him back down to the mat, but Eli Knight was just too elusive and separates. They both start neutral. Both go into the tie-up. Aldo trying to get inside neck control, but separates. Aldo feinting, trying to see his opponent's reaction. Aldo gets the single attempt. He's deep in there. Oh no! Eli Knight goes the outside cradle and circles and immediately pins Aldo. What an upset! Chattanooga's Eli Knight is ecstatic, yelling to the bench, being very excited. That went 0 to 100 fast. Aldo Hernandez is not happy at all. Hernandez was deep in the single, but Eli Knight had the lock-in between Aldo's legs and flipped him over for the outside cradle and locked it in and pinned him. Even I was surprised by that. But this next matchup, Caden Keyser, redshirt sophomore from Winter, South Dakota, versus Dane Dilrymple, redshirt junior from Memphis, Tennessee. And this 157 match will start back up. Caden Keyser, Dane Dilrymple. Keyser trying to work the tie up here, trying to see what he has around. Keyser gaining the inside neck control. Keyser still trying to work that tie-up. Dilrymple tries to get the underhook. Dilrymple separates and tries to circle, but Keyser stays in front. Dilrymple still try to get that underhook. Keyser trying to separate. Chattanooga. Dilrymple tries to pick up Keyser, but Keyser stays in front, doesn't allow the takedown to happen so easily. Dilrymple trying to finish and circle around, but Keyser has control of the waist and not allowing him to circle. Dilrymple just trying to power through, trying to pick up Keyser. Looks like Dilrymple go in between the legs of Keyser, trying to gain a better advantage. But Keyser being relentless, trying to defend, not allowing Dilrymple to circle. Dilrymple has not gotten the takedown yet, but he's close. And he's there. That's a takedown for Dane Dilrymple. Chattanooga leads 3-0 in this 149 matchup. Keyser gets up, tries to get the escape point, but Dilrymple brings it back down to the mat, and they will go out of bounds. Keyser will start on bottom. And it starts. Minute remaining in this 149 matchup in the first period. Keyser trying to separate, and he gets the escape point. That's an escape point for Keyser. Gets 3-0. Keyser goes deep on the single attempt, circles around, tries to pick up and trips him. And that's the double leg takedown from Keyser. And he leads 4-3, but immediately gets him up, and John Mark Bentley not happy with that decision. That is now tied up 4-4 with 30 seconds remaining. Going neutral, 20 seconds remaining. Both staying in front, trying to see what reactions are each other's. Dab State yelling for a cutter, but staying neutral here. And the first period will end. It stays tied up with 4-4. App State has the decision, and they will go bottom. Keyser will start on bottom in the start of this second period 149 matchup against Dane Dilrymple. It'll start. Keyser gets the escape point and separates on bottom, leading 5-4. Both in the tie-up here. Dilrymple tries to get an underhook. Keyser snaps down, but separates and tries to circle, but Dilrymple stays in front. Goes back immediately in the tie-up. Dilrymple gets the underhook, but separates, trying to get a better position and gain the wrist control, but Caden Keyser pushes away. They go immediately back in the tie-up. Keyser goes deep in the single attempt, but he separates. He ducks under. He ducks under the leg, gains the 3. Dilrymple trying to Granby roll out of there, but it doesn't work. Keyser leading 8-4. And they'll go out of bounds. Dilrymple will start on bottom. Though it's almost a bad position from Dilrymple as he tries to Granby roll immediately after getting taken down. Was on his back, but immediately recovered, and they will start neutral after going, not neutral. Dilrymple will go on bottom after going out of bounds. And Keyser will get a false start warning. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining. Keyser trying to stop Dilrymple from sitting out and turning in. Dilrymple trying to stand up, gets the escape point. Keyser 8-5. John Mark Bentley yelling, get another one now. Trying to tell Keyser to stay active. 40 seconds remaining in this second period. Both men separate, go immediately back in the tie-up. Keyser trying to circle around. Well, Dilrymple tries to get that underhook control. Caden Keyser snaps him down. Tried to get that head and arm. Trying to finish with the single, but separates. Gets the underhook on his left arm. Bentley yelling at him to hold him. Stay that control that you had of him. Don't separate. But he goes back in the tie-up. Keyser with 5 seconds left. They separate. And it looks like that'll be the end of the second period. Third period will now start with Chattanooga having the choice, and they will choose to go on bottom. Keyser leading 8-5. Dilrymple will start on bottom here. Keyser starts again. Dilrymple tries to sit out and turns in, but Keyser stops it. Keyser puts in a leg, trying to get Dilrymple down into the mat. Dilrymple trying to get that escape point, and Keyser just lets him go. Coach is still not happy about that decision. Keyser leading 8-6. He cannot allow any takedown to happen on him. Keyser tries to get a single outside attempt, and Dilrymple tries to circle around and get the takedown, but they will go out of bounds and they will start neutral again. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Dilrymple being still on all fours, trying to see what he has. Both going to the tie-up. Keyser trying to get underhooks, trying to get wrist control. Gets the inside neck. They separate. Keyser staying in front, trying to circle. Tries to pressure Dilrymple and tries to get him out. But both are in the middle as Dilrymple pushes back. Dilrymple tries to snap down. Minute remaining in this match. Nice! And Appalachian State coach is yelling at Keyser to let's go, get something to happen. But oh wow, what? They didn't give the takedown to Keyser. I thought that was sure enough. But Dane Dilrymple, Granby rolls out of there and gets neutral. 30 seconds remaining, 8-6. I thought that was a takedown, but no. Dilrymple trying to get the underhooks. Get the wrist control. Dilrymple tries to go for the shot attempt and circles around. Caden Keyser sprawls and separates to go neutral again. Keyser snaps down Dilrymple, and they circle around. Dilrymple going after shot attempts. And Keyser getting the shot attempt. 10 seconds remaining. He's deep in there, in between the legs. And the match is done. Caden Keyser defending off multiple shot attempts, an ecstatic close match, 8-6. Caden Keyser gets another win home here in Varsity Gym. And now at 157 for App State, Jeremiah Price versus 157, Noah Castillo. Both tying up. Castillo tries to circle around. Price has the inside arm. Price almost gets showed away, almost loses his back, but he separates and gains neutral. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Price tries to shoot by himself because Castillo still in front of him. Price deep in the leg, deep in the single. He's behind, but Castillo has the whizzer and not allowing the circle behind. And both men will start neutral. Still 0-0 with 2 minutes remaining in this first period 157 matchup between Jeremiah Price and Noah Castillo. After shot attempts from both, they separate. Castillo tries to get the underhooks and separates as he circles around Price, gets the single leg takedown. Castillo leads 3-0. Price tries to separate and get to the escape point. Price has the whizzer. And Price separates, gets the escape point, and pushes out of bounds. An App State coach saying that those are back points, but ref doesn't agree. 3-1, Chattanooga leading. 1 minute remaining. Price in the tie-up here. Has the inside neck control. Castillo being extremely low here. Trying to get the whizzer in the 2-on-1 on Price, but Price just keeps pushing him and pressuring him. Price tries to circle around, but Castillo tries the same, but they both stay in front of each other. And they go out of bounds. They will go neutral again. 30 seconds remaining in this first period. And there will be blood time as Noah Castillo has a nosebleed. And the medical team will point out that there's blood on the mat and they'll get to cleaning. And they'll go back into the matchup. Both men will start neutral with 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Chattanooga's Noah Castillo leads by 2, 3-1. Price going in the matchup and the tie-up, trying to get wrist control. Castillo goes for a shot attempt, but Price sprawls. They're trying to gain Castillo's back by getting the underhook and trying to circle around. 5 seconds remaining, and that's the end of the first period. Noah Castillo for Chattanooga, leading 3-1 after a takedown attempt, and Jeremiah Price escaped. Chattanooga will decide to go on bottom here, and Jeremiah Price will start on top. And a false start attempt on Chattanooga's Noah Castillo. There'll be a warning. Price stays on top. Trying to not allow Chattanooga to escape. And they'll give him the escape point. They'll give Chattanooga's Noah Castillo the escape point. And that'll be 4-1 for Noah. Price trying to circle around. Goes tie up. Price trying to see what he has open. Looking for his options. Goes in the tie up. Sprawls after a shot attempt from Noah. 1:30 remaining in the second period. Price goes in the tie up. Tries to circle around. Noah deep in the shot attempts, but Price tries to separate, gets the whizzer, separates, and goes back to neutral. Takedown defense from Price was great there. And They'll call stalling on no one, but they will start in the middle and both go neutral. 4-1, still leading Noah Castillo. Price trying to snap up. Castillo tries for the underhook. They separate. And Price, great takedown defense again as Castillo was deep in that single. But Price gets the whizzer, circles around, and goes back to neutral. 50 seconds remaining in this second period. Price trying the 2-on-1. Trying to... Noah Castillo gets the single on Price. Price trying to defend it. Gains the whizzer on the other arm. Castillo tries to circle around. He's very close with the takedown attempt. But Chattanooga's bench thought it should be given, but it is not. 21 seconds remaining. And Price gets taken down in the last seconds of the second period. Is now 8-1, Chattanooga's Noah Castillo leading. That'll be the end of the second period. Jeremiah Price will start on bottom, as that's what App State chooses. Price trying to gain wrist control, stands up, gets the escape point, now 8-2. Price down by 6. Castillo tries to go for the shot attempt. Price has that head and arm, that front head and arm, trying to make something happen. Still has the front head and arm, not letting it go. Trying to circle around, but they go out of bounds. And they'll call 3 takedown for Noah Castillo. 11-2 now. Price down by 9. They'll go out of bounds. 1:14 remaining in this third period. And more blood time happens again as Noah Castillo's nose will start bleeding again, and they'll be giving blood time to him. Noah Castillo being very deep in takedown attempts. Price defending a couple of them, but the pace that Castillo has been putting on Price has been overwhelming, to say the least. Price stands up, tries to separate the arm. No escape point given yet. As he gets up, an escape point will be given to Price. 1 minute remaining. It's now 11-3. It will start neutral. Price trying to get something to happen here. Price trying to go in the tie-up. Price deep in the takedown attempt. Deep in the single. Trying to finish. John Mark Bentley telling him to hurry. Circle around. Price trying to finish the single. Trying to get behind. And the takedown will be given, and they'll start out of bounds. It is now 6-11. And Jeremiah Price will start on top with 30 seconds remaining in the third period. We need back points and more if Jeremiah Price wants to win this. Price gaining on top, trying to put a leg in, bring him back down to the mat. "12 seconds remaining in this matchup. They go out of bounds. And Noah Castillo will start on bottom again. Price on top with 12 seconds remaining. He truly needs a pin here if he wants to win. And a false start again on Noah Castillo. And one of the refs going to the scorer's table. Now, still 11-6, 12.7 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. Price needs a miracle for this to get a win for him. Price trying for anything to happen. And the clock will exit, and Price loses to Chattanooga's Noah Castillo, 11-6. Noah Castillo gains the win by decision. And that will be intermission in 3. So it's 12-7 now, team score, with Chattanooga leading. And tonight is alumni night for App State Wrestling today, as there is tons of Appalachian State former wrestlers here of any age of across the decades here tonight. And they will be honored here tonight as they will be given a free t-shirt. This is Appalachian State Wrestling on it. But we will go to intermission, and we will start back up in around 10 minutes, and we will start at 165, number 7 ranked Will Miller against Jackson Hurst Redshirt Jr. Will Miller has a record of 16-1 this season, and Jackson Hurst is 9-13. Will Miller always puts on an exciting performance. No wonder who his opponent is. So make sure to stay tuned. Don't leave. In just 10 minutes, we'll be back with more WASU coverage of Appalachian State men's wrestling versus Chattanooga Mucks. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. The second half of App State Wrestling versus the Chattanooga Mocs will begin. We'll start with, in the second half, we will start with 165er Will Miller. Number 7 ranked in the country, senior from Helena, Alabama, against 165 Jackson Hurst. Jackson Hurst is 9-13 overall this year. Miller immediately going into pressure. Hurst going for a shot attempt, but Miller sprawls. Start back neutral again. Miller in the tie-up. They separate. Goes back in the tie-up. Miller trying to gain wrist control. Trying to circle around. Tries to snap down. Try to gain reactions. Both in neutral still. Miller. Both still in the tie-up. Nothing really happening right in here. Both are still in the tie-up. Miller trying to gain the inside neck control. Miller being extremely patient with the opportunities he's given with. Miller being pressured on the outside, circling around, still in the tie-up. Hurst tries to go low. Miller tries to go for the outside single leg. Doesn't happen. Both go neutral. Hurst defends the takedown, goes back in the tie-up. Miller has the inside neck control, has 2 overhooks, and separates. Miller still being pressured on the outside. He takes advantage of it, goes deep on the single leg, and circles around Hurst. Hurst faces Miller, trying to get the takedown, and the takedown will not be given. Miller being extremely close. Just unfortunate that he just went out of bounds with it. Minute remaining in the first period. Both still 0-0. Stall warning given to Chattanooga. Miller trying to flip around Hurst. And he gains the 3 on Hurst. He gets Hurst back. Miller pressuring Hurst to go out of bounds. But Miller trying to stay in, trying to waste as much time as he can. 20 seconds remaining. And they go out of bounds and they will start neutral again. Hurst will start on bottom. Miller trying to pick Hurst back up, bring him back down to the mat. And he does. Slams him down. 5 seconds remaining. Not allowing Hurst to get any last second points here. And that'll be the end of the first period. Will Miller, number 7 ranked wrestler in the country, leading 3-0 with 1 takedown after the first period. Chattanooga defers to App State, and App State, so Will Miller will decide to go on bottom, try to get some escape points here. Jackson Hurst now going on top. And they start. Miller trying to get up. Miller gets up, tries to let go, trying to separate the wrists, and he does. It's now 4-0 to Will Miller. Will Miller goes in between Hurst's legs, Hurst being extremely high. Miller trying to circle around, circles around into Hurst. Hurst has the leg, Miller trying to circle around, and he does. Miller gets the takedown, and they'll be a potentially dangerous, so they will start with Hurst on bottom. Will Miller now leading 7-0. Miller trying to pressure to go down. Miller trying to pick Hurst up, bring him back down to the mat. After trying to leg ride, Will Miller almost lets Hurst escape, but he gains control of the back, and he's in the same position he was in. Less than a minute remaining. Miller trying to get that leg in, but Hurst is being closed off like a turtle. He's just on bottom, not really doing anything, and the ref telling him he needs to start working. And they will call stalling. And they will call stalling on Chattanooga's. Jackson Hurst. Chattanooga bench not happy. Hurst trying to sit out and separate. Miller gaining possession of the leg. Has that front trip. Pushes Miller. Miller pushes Hurst out of the mat. Go out of bounds. And they will start back in the middle of the mat. And Miller will start on top again. 30 seconds remaining in this second period. Hurst on all fours here. Miller trying to get something to happen. Miller just staying on the back, trying to get Hurst to stay down. Hurst tries to get up, but Miller just keeps bringing him back down to the mat. 5 seconds remaining, and Miller gets the escape point. I mean, not Miller. Hurst gets the escape point with 5 seconds remaining. It is now 7-1. Will Miller leading by 6. Start in the third period. Wow, you don't see that often. Will Miller immediately lets him up, tells the ref that he wants to start neutral, and they give an immediate escape point to Jackson Hurst. That'll be now 7-2. Will Miller still in neutral, trying to work that inside tie, trying to gain wrist control here. Hurst with 1 minute and 30 remaining, trying to get something to go his way. Coach John Mark Bentley encouraging Will to hurry up, get something to happen, not just stand there in front. Hurst gets an ankle pick. Miller gets the ankle of Hurst, not allowing Hurst to circle around. Hurst being extremely close to the 3, circling around Miller. Miller's on his back. No back points given, as no control was there. And Miller gets taken down. It is now 7-5 with 1 minute remaining in this third period. Will Jackson Hurst get the upset against the top-ranked wrestler in the country? Miller gets the escape point, circles around. Now 9-5. 40 seconds remaining in this third period. Miller staying in front. 30 seconds remaining. Chattanooga bench yelling at Jackson Hurst, telling him to make something happen. He had success with that ankle pick. Will he try to go again? He had a double leg attempt, but didn't go all the way through with it and separates. 15 seconds remaining in this third period. Will Miller defending takedowns. Will Miller sprawls, gains the inside tie control. Jackson Hurst will try to go out of bounds for something to happen. And Will Miller just staying in front. And that'll be the end of the match. Will Miller wins in a tight matchup 8-5. Even though Will Miller got the win, it does not seem Coach John Mark Bentley is happy about that, as his top-ranked wrestler almost lost to an unranked. But doesn't matter. A win is a win either way. Will Miller knows how to improve after tight wins. But still a great win nonetheless. Chattanooga 12-10 after the Miller win. And 174 for App State, Luke Giuliano, number 28 ranked in the country, up against Sergio Diciante, who's number 20th ranked. Luke trying to keep his composure. He's trying to stay low. Trying to touch his back arm to the ground, not allowing him to stay too high. A technique many wrestlers use to make sure they stay low. Giuliano trying to stay as low as he can, trying to gain any advantage that he can. They're in the tie-up. Giuliano tries to circle around. Desante trying to go for a shot attempt, but Giuliano circles around. Both are neutral. That's stalling. They'll start back neutral. Giuliano still trying to stay low, not allowing himself to get too high. Giuliano trying to get the underhook after a failed shot attempt from Desante. Giuliano goes for his own shot attempt, but Desante stuffs it. Both still neutral here. Giuliano engages in the tie-up. Giuliano goes back in the tie-up again, trying to pressure Desante. Giuliano trying to push Desante away. Giuliano tries to circle around. Many feints and shot attempts here. A minute remaining left in this first period. Desante very close to finishing a single leg attempt, but Giuliano's takedown defense pushes him away, and they both go neutral. Still 0-0 with 45 seconds remaining. Giuliano engages in a tie-up, gains deep in a single leg, goes in between the legs and tries to circle around. Desante close to getting back points to himself. Giuliano trying to finish with 30 seconds remaining. Desante's on his back, but gaining back. And that's 3 for Giuliano. That's 3. Circles around and finishes after a deep single leg attempt. Desante gets the escape point. Now 3-1. With 3 seconds remaining, he gets the escape point. A lot of App State wrestlers letting go of their opponents after getting takedowns fast with just seconds remaining. And John Mark Bentley frustrated with that. Giuliano still gaining 3-1. Giuliano will start on bottom with App State's choice to go there. Giuliano will start on bottom here. Desante controlling Giuliano's ankle here. Extremely tough for Giuliano to get up. Giuliano trying to get his own escape point. Desante brings Giuliano back down to the mat. Desante trying to gain both wrist controls here. Giuliano Granby rolls and gets the escape point. That's now 5-1. No, 4-1. Excuse me for that mistake. A minute 20 seconds remaining in this second period. Giuliano gets a single, does a fireman's carry. He gains control of the back, and that's a takedown. And he gains 3 back points after DeSante was on his back. 10-1. From a tight match from 4-1 to immediate domination. 10-1. Bryson Terrell on the sidelines with the baby carry. The App State bench. The App State crowd trying to call for stalling on Chattanooga here, but Chattanooga is on the ground, not really working anything, and they will call stalling, but no points will be given. And as you can hear from my mic, tons of boos from that decision, but DeSante will start on bottom, and Giuliano will stay on top. 10-1, 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Luke Giuliano putting DeSante on his back on top of a takedown with 6 total points, leading 10-1, 25 seconds remaining. Giuliano a little too high with both legs in. Giuliano has both legs in, trying to make something work. 10 seconds remaining in the second period. Has a grapevine in. This App State bench trying to call for stalling, but the ref's not giving it to him. And that's the end of the second period. Again, Bryson Terrell on the sidelines with the baby carry. You can tell this App State bench loves watching their wrestlers succeed, and that's exactly what Giuliano is doing. They will start neutral. Chattanooga picks to go neutral here. Both men in an extreme tight tie-up, 10-1, 2 minutes remaining in this last period. A shot attempt from DeSante. Luke Giuliano circles around. DeSante still staying low. Giuliano in his position, trying to stay low himself, touching his left arm to the floor. Giuliano backs off of that shot attempt. DeSante had a shot attempt, but Luke Giuliano circles around, gets the reversal. Not even a reversal. He never got the takedown to begin with. Stuffs the takedown, circles around, and gets the takedown. 13-1. John Mark Bentley is so mad right now. He's yelling to this ref, telling him they're stalling, but they're not giving it to him. But yes, they call for stalling. But are there any points going to be given? It doesn't matter, as Luke Giuliano is up by 12 points here. A minute remaining left. All Luke Giuliano needs to do is not put himself in a bad position. Don't get risky. Make sure you don't get called for stalling yourself, and stay in this great position that you're in. Giuliano looks like, with 40 seconds remaining, he's close to gaining the win on number 20th ranked Sergio DeSante. Luke Giuliano gets the wrist control, trying to push back. 30 seconds remaining. This crowd is yelling again, trying to call for stalling. And they call him for stalling again. That's a point given to Luke Giuliano. 14-1 now. 15 seconds remaining. He cross faces DeSante on bottom. Luke Giuliano trying to get the tech fall last minute, but he stays on top. 14-1. Dominant win, Luke Giuliano. That third period is where Luke Giuliano shines, and that's exactly what he did today. 14-1 win. Luke Giuliano is a massive dog when he's the underdog in these types of matchups. He's number now 28th ranked, and he just beat number 20th ranked Sergio DeSante. Another ranked win for Luke Giuliano. He's climbing up the ranks every week. This man loves to put on a show. But action will not go anywhere. 184, Logan Eller from Treon, Georgia. against Camden Monroe, redshirt sophomore. Camden Monroe has a record of 8-8, and Logan Eller has a record of 13-7. App State's total score will lead 14-12. App State as a team leads by 2. Logan Eller looks to expand that lead a little further. Both in the tie-up. Monroe close to finishing the takedown. But Eller has the grip in between Monroe's legs, trying for that takedown to not happen. Eller goes out of bounds, and they will start neutral after Monroe stuffs the takedown. Coach John Mark Bentley said, explaining his frustration to the refs, that Logan Eller circled around, but the refs tell him that they don't agree. Eller being low here, trying to see what he has. Going in the tie-up and separating many times, trying to get the timing off. Eller goes low, goes for a single leg attempt. And great takedown defense, but it doesn't work as Camden Monroe circles around, gets the takedown. Now 3-0, Eller down by 3. And Eller pushes to go out of bounds, so they start back up again, and that's exactly what they'll do. Camden Monroe from Chattanooga is up 3-0 with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in this first period. Logan Eller starting on bottom here. Eller immediately gets the escape point. Now 3-1. Eller now down by 2. Logan Eller trying to stay as low as possible. Goes in the tie-up. Tries to get bicep control. 1 minute remaining in this first period. Monroe trying to gain the underhook on Eller, but Eller pushes him away. Eller tries to circle around, trying to see what he has going. Both wrestlers in the center of the mat here, both trying to work their magic. Eller trying to snap down, doesn't work, separates. Both wrestlers feinting, trying to see each other's reactions and tendencies. Eller tries to circle around, get the leg, but separates. Ten seconds remaining in this first period. Eller still down by 2. Eller. Now, Logan Eller still down, 3-1. App State defers, goes to Chattanooga. And Chattanooga will go on bottom. The team score after Luke Juliana's win, 14-12. Oh no! Oh no! Logan Eller, after the Granby roll attempt from Camden Monroe, Eller does not recover well and gets reversed. The score is now 5-2. Eller now down by 3. 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining in this second period. Eller trying to get that inside neck control in the tie-up. Trying to work that wrist control. Trying to circle around. Goes back in the middle. And Chattanooga's Camden Monroe goes deep on a single leg attempt. Eller trying to defend. And that's 3 for Chattanooga's Camden Monroe, now leading 8-2 with a minute remaining. Eller was on his back for 2 seconds, and they'll give him 2 back points to Camden Monroe. Now 10-2, 35 seconds remaining in this second period. Not looking good for Logan Eller. Camden Monroe trying to push Logan Eller's left elbow to try to flip him over to his back, and it works. Eller's on his back, getting points. John Mark Bentley yelling to Eller, try to get his wrist out of there, but there's 5 seconds remaining. 3 back points will be given to Monroe, now leading 14-2. Logan Eller is down by 12 here. Logan Eller will now start on bottom. 14-2 at the start of the third period. Eller tries to get up. He sits down, tries to turn in. Monroe still gains control. Trying to do the same thing again, but Monroe still gains back control. Coach John Mark Bentley explaining his frustrations to the assistant coaches. Eller is planking on the mat here, trying to get up, but he's just being driven down to the mat every time. Coach John Mark Bentley trying to yell to Logan to stand up, and he does, and he gets the escape point, now 14-3. A minute and 10 seconds remaining. Eller tries to go for a single, but it was not deep. Eller goes for the single leg, commits to it, still has the leg, but Monroe still has front control, gets the head and arm, circles around after the shot attempt. And that is now 17-3. 50 seconds remaining in this third period. Eller on trying to get up. And Eller being close to get back points on. Camden Monroe has 30 seconds trying to work this win to a pinfall. And they give a point of stalling to Camden Monroe, and that will be a tech fall going to Chattanooga. And the tech fall gives 5 points to the Mocs. And now that'll be 17-14 after Logan Eller's loss. And now, 197, 28th ranked wrestler for App State, Carson Floyd, going up against Logan Webster, redshirt sophomore from Canton, Georgia. Logan Webster is 2-8. Carson Floyd being extremely hyper for a man of his weight. Trying to circle around, trying to go down to the ankle, but separates, circles around. Carson Floyd being extremely hyper, not allowing Webster to get any type of control. Eller gains that side control, tries to go for that side cradle. They give the 3 to Floyd. Immediate takedown. Floyd getting the crossface. And that looks like it hurts. I've been cross-faced many times, and it hurts, especially if you have braces and you don't have a mouth guard. So you can probably envision where that ended up, a.k.a. blood in the mouth. But Carson Floyd still being on top. Trying to put Webster on his back. But the refs say he's not at that 45-degree angle. And Carson Floyd will try again. Floyd has Webster on his back. 3, 4. That's 4 back points. Floyd is putting Webster on his back, trying to go for a pin here. The ref trying to look at his back, see if the shoulder blades are touching, trying to get a pin. It's any second here. Carson Floyd controlling the leg and controlling the neck, trying to put Webster on his back, trying to get a pin out of Webster. Floyd trying to pressure hips into Webster's hips to try to make him more flat. The pin is so close. It's a feather away. But Webster recovers and goes on his chest for a mere second. For Carson Floyd trying the exact same thing again. Webster is being ragdolled by the neck. Carson Floyd not like to see his opponents lose, so he goes in and tries to get avenged. Tries to go to avenge them. 7-0. Carson Floyd starts this first period extremely fast and dominant. 7-0 with 46 seconds remaining. Both men will start back in the middle after going out of bounds. Carson Floyd will start on top. And a false start. Oh, wait, a false start on App. They put a false start on App, but when Chattanooga, his guy immediately stood up. That's odd. And the ref, that wasn't a mistake. He went up to Carson Floyd explaining. Carson Floyd starts back up again, being extremely dominant. Puts Webster on his back with the half. Gaining control of one wrist, and that's a pin! Carson Floyd gets the dominant win. First period. He gets called for stalling. Doesn't matter. Shows the ref he can get the win either way. He gets the pinfall in the first period against Logan Webster from Chattanooga. Now a 20-17 win after Carson Floyd gets the pinfall. Extremely exciting. John Mark Bentley extremely happy. But now, it's the heavyweight matchup. The matchup where anything can happen. Records don't matter. Anything can happen in the heavyweight world. True freshman, Stephen Monchery. True freshman from Middletown, New York. Has an undefeated record in high school. Completely dominant in his high school career. He's going up against heavyweight from Chattanooga, Ethan Vergara. He's 3-2 in his record. Stephen trying to get the underhooks here. Trying to work the tie-up. Vergara trying his own tie-up. Monchery trying to get wrist control here. Monchery goes for a shot attempt, but Vergara stuffs it. Both start up back neutral. Monchery has the overhook. Tries to circle around, but Vergara separates. Monchery has close. He was close to the double leg, but Vergara stuffs it. Monchery tries to pass by, gets the overhook still and the underhook on the other. If you're on the other side of those overhooks, that's not where you want to be. Stephen still trying for that overhook and underhook tactic. They separate. Vergara circles into the center of the mat, trying to avoid going out of bounds. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in this first period. Stephen going back in the tie-up. Moncherie trying to gain inside net control. Vergara tried to go for an inside trip, but Moncherie steps out of it, and both go neutral. Moncherie trying to get wrist control. They separate. Goes back in the tie-up. A minute remaining. Minute remaining in this first period heavyweight matchup against Stefan Moncherie and Ethan Vergara. Moncherie has the single leg, close to finished many times, but doesn't get it. Vergara circles around and defends it. 40 seconds remaining in this first period. Both in a tie-up still. Moncherie being very close to finishing on his shot attempts, but Vergara circling away at the last second. But all those shot attempts lead to going out of bounds. So that's what is stopping Moncherie from getting these takedowns. 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Moncherie trying to make something happen. Tries to go for the double leg again. But Vergara goes for his own single leg attempts. Both stuff each other's. Both go neutral. 5 seconds remaining. Moncherie, both in the tie-up still. And time expires. And the ref going to Vergara saying, watch the face, watch your hands in the face. That can lead to eye pokes and everything that goes in that nature. Appalachian State defers to Chattanooga, and Ethan Vergara chooses to go on bottom, and Moncherie will start on top. Moncherie will try to stop Vergara from getting an escape point here. Vergara tries to get up. He's on all fours. Moncherie trying to bring it back down to the mat. Vergara trying to separate the legs, and Vergara gets the escape point. Moncherie goes back to hand fighting. Trying to gain wrist control. Tries to snap Vergara down. Vergara has that inside net control. Vergara trying to gain underhooks here. But Moncherie not allowing it to happen. Moncherie stuffs the takedown, tries to go behind. And that's 3 from Moncherie! 3 from Moncherie! That's 3-1! After a double leg attempt from Ethan Vergara, Moncherie stuffs it, circles around in the last minute. Great hustle for Moncherie. You don't see speed like that from a heavyweight just anywhere. Moncherie trying to stay in bounds. Moncherie keeping one leg in so they don't call the out of bounds call. Vergara trying to go out of bounds so they start again. And they will call a stalling as nothing happens, and they will start right back in the middle. Moncherie will start on top again. 30 seconds remaining in this second period. Moncherie trying to put Vergara down to the mat. Vergara's on all fours. Moncherie trying to result to a trip. Moncherie tries to pick him up, brings it back down to the mat. Vergara goes for a Granby roll, but Moncherie circles back around and not allowing Vergara to escape. They go out of bounds to start back neutral. 4.3 seconds remaining in this second period. If you're Moncherie here, you're going to expect Vergara to try to go all out for this last second escape point. Vergara tries to stand up, and the second period will end there. Moncherie leads 3-1. And Moncherie will go on bottom. But I could see a couple of his teammates tell him to go on neutral. You have this guy. Take this guy down again. But he'll try to be safe. Get that escape point. Moncherie stands up. Tries to break the tie. Gets turned back down to the mat. Moncherie tries to stand up again. And he gets that escape point. Now 4-1. A minute 45 seconds remaining in this heavyweight matchup. Last match of the night. App State's team score is 20, Chattanooga 17. App State leading by 3. Stefan cannot allow any type of loss here. Moncherie in the tie-up. Pressuring Vergara. Pressures him to the center. Vergara goes for a shot attempt, but Moncherie's quick to stuff it. Moncherie goes for the inside hand. Tries to go for wrist control. Vergara goes to the single again. Moncherie close to circling around. Moncherie resorts to the single. He's close. He takes him down. He's behind. Moncherie gets the takedown. That's 3 for Moncherie. 2 threes for Moncherie. Moncherie leading 7-1. 35 seconds remaining in this last period. This App State bench is electric. They're letting Chattanooga hear it. Moncherie trying to stay on top, continue his dominance. Moncherie tries to go for the half, trying to put Vergara on his back in the last 10 seconds. But it looks like Vergara is he's resorting to just a decision. But Moncherie stays there. Last second remaining, the true freshman gets the win in last seconds. 7-1. 2 threes for Moncherie. Leading 8-1. Stefan Moncherie. This match is what mattered most. App State was down in the first half before intermission, but the second half, the ranked Rustlers get it done. The total match score leads 10-1. Stefan Moncherie is clutch for the Mountaineers tonight, as that decision leads to the total score of 24-17. App State still undefeated in the SoCon. Their next matchup is against Davidson. They are also undefeated, 4-0. And guess who's covering it here in Varsity Gym? Yep, you're dang right, me, Great Dane Maggard. If you want some more exciting matchups and more exciting commentary, make sure to stay tuned, subscribe to WASU Sports. You know where to find us, wasu.sports on Instagram, Twitter, and almost everywhere. But this is an exciting matchup tonight. App State is now 6-0 in the SoCon, undefeated in their overall score, leading 7-3. That'll definitely bring their dual rank up more. And now let's go over everything. Bryson Terrell, he wins, makes 4-0. Bellis gets an overtime loss in a very close matchup. Aldo gets pinned. Very close in a close matchup. Chattanooga leading 9-4 after Aldo lost. Then 149, we win. Caden Keyser gets the clutch decision. And that's 9-7 total. Price lost, bringing the score to 12-7. Then it was intermission. Then Will Miller won in a close matchup to bring it 12-10. Then Luke Giuliano does what he does best and defeats ranked Rustlers with ease. At 174, Luke Giuliano, now 28, but now you can expect, after defeating 2 top 20 ranked Rustlers this year, to go up much more than just the 20s. I expect something in the teens. Come on, Flow Rustling, get your rankings right. But after that, Logan Eller gets the tech fall and loss. That brings it 17-4. App State. Then Carson Floyd gets the dominant pinfall, which leads the App State team score to 20-17. And the last matchup was heavyweights. Stefan Moncherie and Ethan Vergara. It's safe to say if it didn't go to just a regular decision, that team would win of who wrestler would win. And Stefan Moncherie is clutch in those type of situations. And he wins in a dominant 10-1 win. The true freshman gets it done again to bring his record 14-9. 14-9 from a true freshman is prospect status. You can expect the next 4 to 5 years of this man to be dominant in the NCAA. But this brings the win 24-17. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Great Dane Maggard. And stay subscribed for more updates on wrestling, men's and women's basketball. And follow WASU on all platforms. I'm Great Dane Maggard. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support for App State Wrestling. I'm glad to be here and thankful for this opportunity. And thank you to the past alumni for supporting our Mountaineers tonight, as it was alumni night. So make sure to give the App State alumni some love on all platforms. But the Mountaineers undefeated 6-0 and looking forward to 7-0 to defeat undefeated Davidson. So I'm Great Dane Maggard here signing off of App State Wrestling versus Chattanooga. We got the